Hello, people. It's your boy Ambassador again doing this thing. As I usually I start by saying like, share, subscribe, because that's how we build a critical mass. All I need is for you to like this thing, copy the link, share it on Facebook, take it on WhatsApp, take it to school, get your friends to talk about it, give your opinion. They might be stupid opinions, they might disagree, they might insult me, whatever that is, but that's an opinion. So I just want more people talking about these things, thinking about it, and giving their feedback. Today I'll be talking about the price of cocoa. Let the price of cocoa not deceive you. That's what I'm talking about. Because I came across this picture, and there's also this video which we'll be sharing. But most especially, there's this picture where somebody's living in a mud house, very ramshackle kind of structure, where they've put an AC air conditioning system to that house. And I'm wondering to myself, like, in development language, is that the best impact which the rise or the increase of cocoa prices will bring to a village? It's an irony, it's a paradox, but that's what happens. That picture is a paradox in itself, but that if you break it down, a lot of those kind of things that happen in society, where you start wondering, like, without educating people and giving them some of these resources, even if they give them money, is it really going to bring development, or is it going to be counterproductive and destructive to them? Now let's look at the case study of cocoa.
The maximum output or the maximum capacity, that's manufacturing of chocolate in Nigeria, because they're all craft chocolate makers. It's not up to 300 tons, maybe 100. You have one doing maybe 12, you have others doing like 2, 3, 1. So if I want to be generous, I'll say we have a capacity of doing up to 100 tons of chocolate. If you divide that and get the ratio in terms of the production output, Nigeria's, which is 300,000, you see that we're doing less than 0.001. The way it is right now, it needs a lot of funding. You cannot be a craft chocolate maker and be able to scale up. It's not possible. And before you are able to scale up, you're going to need a lot of funding. You also need a lot of awareness, and that's what we call creating the cocoa culture, which is a culture of consumption, a culture of appreciation. Yes, to a certain extent, we have people giving out chocolates on Valentine's Day, birthdays, but it's not enough. In a place like France, they even use chocolate to drink coffee, a small piece of chocolate. So, those are little ways, and it's been entrenched over the last 200-300 years. It is not just about importation, because the price of, the rates of the foreign exchange has gone up, that someone has patronage. It's not just about that. To a great extent, it's about this emotional and sentimental attachment that, oh, okay, a Nigerian is finally making chocolate. Yes, we can capitalize on that. But are the people willing to pay that 3,000 naira or 4,000 naira for a bar of chocolate? It's almost impossible. I have a Grade 4 bar here, just so that you have an idea of what we're talking about. You see, there is the challenge when it comes to, some people ask the question, why don't you manufacture here and export?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you don't have milk, you don't have sugar. When you have milk and sugar, it is not consistent. And we're talking about people with highly developed taste or culture. So once there's that inconsistency, you lose them, because their chocolate culture is very, very sophisticated. They know what they're trying to get from eating chocolate or even serving chocolates. And they have a lot of events, wine pairing with chocolate, doing this and that with chocolate. And right, even though they don't even grow cocoa, the children in the primary school know more about cocoa in the UK, in Europe, or in America. They know more about cocoa than a Nigerian. We see it as local, as non-beneficial, but they see it as something that they must know, that they must appreciate. Because most times people think that is coming from just a factory, but it's actually a plant. That's the truth. It's just a plant. It's nothing more.
I'm talking about this because something which professionally I'm very involved in some of these things, and I know a lot about some of the programs, projects, efforts, investments that are made to help some of these farmers, trainings that are made. But still, when we have this kind of results, I begin to question all of the other things we do. Now, first, I think if somebody is not educated the right way, they always have misplaced priorities. So when you see an AC in a mud house where surely the children have not gone to school and they're not that healthy and they're not eating, you begin to wonder if what's true development. Is he having an AC in your house, or is he having educated children healthy and nourished? Also, the too fast, too soon dilemma is ideally I prefer where the market can give you 25 francs, 100 francs, 150 progressively. So you start to think and your development grows with that amount. But suddenly, 1 year of cocoa business, the prices went up from 2,000 francs to 6,000 francs, depending on where, if it's at village level, urban city, or at the port. It's scary because this guy who had 2,000 francs now has six. Do the maths and all of that. So it's crazy. But also, I'm thinking to myself, like, what this might become counterproductive because if you give these farmers too much money, they have more wives, more children, they get into more alcohol, crime rates increase because people are now stealing and trying to get more money. So lots of these things which it breaks down the society instead of building it. So I feel like there should be some control measure, and that's where some of those things like the farmer board or some of those organizations we had in the past with cocoa, which could at least receive some of the money, deduct something, and then save it for a rainy day. So that even when the prices will fall, because they will fall, what will happen is this might even be intentional from the market, we don't know, but it's very possible. Many people will plant cocoa, flood the market, and the prices will drop like a stone from the sky. And then people will sell at very tragic prices. It will happen. So if the government wants to protect the people, they should set some control measures where the prices have gone up now. We still give you were at 2,000 francs, we give you 3,000 francs, it's not that bad. Or 4,000 francs and we save 2,000 francs for the rainy day. When the prices drop and we still give you 2,000 francs on the maybe 900 or 600 you'll be selling at that time when the prices have dropped crazy, it will not be that bad. So there's that shock absorbing structures which we need to put to protect the farmers. But too bad, we are in the wild, wild west. Sasol comes Sasol. And yeah, the farmers are receiving their 6,000 francs now, putting air conditions in their houses, giving rounds in bars, becoming even weaker and they cannot even farm too well, having more wives. When the prices will drop, they have a bad habit now, have some debt and more children. We'll see how that's going to play out. Also, I feel like they need to grow more food crops because if it's even that bad, and you guys can no longer drive your car, you park the car, you start moving, you used to move. But when it gets bad where you don't have food and you cannot boil cocoa and eat, then that's where that's the third layer of the tragedy, where people are now starving and dying. Yeah. So I always say, what happened to the African evolution if we discovered fire but survival in our everyday existence? If that makes sense, I'm saying that since we discovered fire, it felt like we are stuck in that era where we discovered fire and we have not discovered more things to evolve. So why are we looking at our everyday existence and not thinking of how can we evolve? When I drive to somewhere else and you see people still drying cocoa using on the road, using just sunlight, tar, and the most early manish technique to preserve their cocoa, I begin to wonder. So does it mean that nobody has thought of a better way over these years? If this crop is so useful for us, we have not thought of any local way or local techniques to evolve and be able to dry cocoa. Shows are vérifiées, as we say in French. Food for thought, guys. As always, I'm just discussing and bringing up these things for us to think about it, talk about it, share it, like, subscribe, share, talk about it, post it on Facebook, post it on LinkedIn, give your opinion, let your friends give their opinions. Let's start to talk, let's start to think. As usual, as you go, Ambassador, I'm out.
Just my opinion.